Welcome back, everybody. So, my next movie review for you is Signs. Now, I decided to do this movie review now because in the area where I live in Wiltshire, a load of crop circles are starting to appear. This happens every year and it's a massive tourist attraction, and this movie has quite a lot of them in this movie as well. Um, so, where do I honestly begin with this? I love this movie. However, I've spoken to people that go, "Oh, it's not that good," and all that kind of stuff for an alien movie. Now, this is where my love for this movie comes from. Yes, this is predominantly about an alien race coming down to Earth and trying to wipe out all human mankind. But there is another underlying subplot here which is quite deep and it's quite meaningful and it's quite emotional. And that is where the love for this movie comes from, which I'm going to get into in a minute. So this movie is directed by M. Night Shyamalan, if I said his name right. I hope I did. And stars Mel Gibson, Jacqueline Phoenix is another name I can't say, and many, many others. This movie, there are so many different bits about this movie. It still, to this day, creeps me out. I watched a scene from this movie the other day, and it's the scene where you first see the alien walk from behind the hedge. Still to this day, that one scene sends a shiver down my spine, and it's doing it right now. That is how much this movie does kind of creep me out. Now I know the director here has a very good reputation to doing these kind of creepy, kind of very well done kind of movies, and this is probably one of my favorites from him because you don't see a huge amount of the aliens in this, and when you do, they do make one hell of a fucking impression on you as well. Like I said, for me personally, this movie does actually kind of creep me out. It doesn't scare me, it just creeps me out a little bit, and especially with the area where I live in with crop circles. Around about this time, I go, "Yeah, there could be aliens watching us right now. It could be," and all that kind of stuff. But the storyline in this is actually really, really good. The performances in this movie are actually fantastic. I love Mel Gibson's performance in this. He is probably the standout performance. It's something different from him, and it's just really, really enjoyable. Now, before I get onto the aliens bit of this movie, I want to talk about the more deeper side of this. So, this movie is following a family who's dealing with the tragedy of losing their mum, their wife, and they're still hurting quite bad through this. This is the part of the story which I love because they are having to deal with this, and yet an alien species has come down to Earth to try and wipe out humankind. This movie is more about seeing a family go through a traumatic time and then have to go through another traumatic time or a time and work their way through this. And this is why I love this movie so much, because of that subplot line there. Well, it's not even a subplot line, it's quite dominant in this, is the reason why I love this movie. To see a family go through a tragedy or trying to get through a tragedy and then having to deal with something else at the same time, and you see all the emotions build up towards the end for a cracking scene around the dinner table. This is the reason why I love that. It's just so well done. You feel the emotion, you can feel everything they're kind of going through, and you get that sense of connection to the characters, and you do get an emotional attachment to every single main character in this movie, and that is why I love it. And it's just so well done. Now, going on to the alien side of this, mate, like I said, they do creep me out, and their noise that they make really creeps me out, which leads me onto a story, which is something that happened here at night with me the other night, about 2 weeks ago. So it was around about 3 o'clock in the morning, and my stomach somehow managed to produce the noise that the aliens made. I was instantly awake straight away, and I could damned if I could get back to sleep because where I was in that kind of semi half kind of sleep kind of mode, and I heard it, I wasn't 100% sure about whether it was actually an alien in here or it was just my stomach. It was my stomach without a shadow of a doubt, but it was just at that time. It's so creepy. So creepy. The aliens in here, they've done an absolutely fantastic job. The fact that they are camouflaged, that they are constantly watching them, and then when they start to attack, you still don't get to see a huge amount of actually seeing the aliens, which is really, really good. Overuse of seeing them would have spoilt that movie for me. The only massive bugbear I have with this movie is, once again, these aliens are defeated by water. This has happened before in past movies with aliens, and it's happened again. That is the only bugbear I really have with this movie. But it did kind of work, and I'm gonna let that off because of that as well. Visually, this movie looks fantastic. The music that comes with this movie is absolutely spine-chillingly tingly and quite scary, which I absolutely love to bits. It really adds to the tension of the movie. Like I said, the performances in this movie are absolutely fantastic, especially from the younger actors as well. Very, very well done. Mel Gibson's performance in this movie is without a doubt the best performance in this movie. It was something different from him. I like this. I like the fact that you get to see his emotions, you get to see him cry, you get to see him deal with this while trying to bring up the family or keep them on the straight and narrow. Without, it's just so. It's just more than just an alien invasion movie. It's about, like I said, it's more about how a family is getting through a crisis, and then they get another crisis appears, and it's how they get through that as well. Like I said, this movie will get a very strong 10 out of 10 for me. Like I said, it is well done. This is my own personal opinions. I love the way this was done. I love the way this was shot. I love the music that come with it. I love the direction they went with it. I love the storyline that come with it, which just makes this an enjoyable watch. But once again, I still cannot watch this by myself in any way. For some reason, it's just one of those movies which is not scary. It just, at certain points of this movie, you just get that huge creep factor, and that's why I love it, and that's what makes it an enjoyable watch for me. So like I said, this movie will get a 10 out of 10. So on that note, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below. Have you seen this movie? Tell me what you think about this movie, and put that in the comments down below. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. Then come back, put what you think in the comments down below as normal. So on that note, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care, and goodbye.